Hello my fishing friends and fellow adventurers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the fishing forecast for Ireland on November 6th, 2025. Get ready because this day holds some fascinating insights, especially after the full moon. And I've got some practical tips that could make all the difference for your next outing. We're going to uncover why this particular day might just be the one to land that dream catch if you approach it with the right strategy. So let's cast off and see what the waters have in store for us. All right, let's talk tactics and target species for this promising day. First up, we've got the mighty pike, my friends. November is prime time for these freshwater predators across Ireland, and today is absolutely no exception. With the cooler water temperatures we're seeing, pike are really switching on. Where to find them? Look for pike in slightly deeper waters, especially around drop-offs, submerged weed beds, and the edges of snags. They'll be ambushing the abundant bait fish moving into these areas for shelter. For what to catch them on, think big. Large, soft plastic shades, jerkbaits, or even oversized crankbaits in natural bait fish colors will work wonders. My little trick for today, given the post-full moon conditions, is to work your lures slowly and deliberately, pausing them often. Pike can be a bit sluggish after a big feed, and a slow, tantalizing presentation often triggers that strike. Next, let's talk about bass. November is renowned as a superb month for bass fishing along the Irish coast, often yielding some of the larger specimens of the year. The abundance of bait fish pushed around by the prevailing winds makes bass incredibly active. You'll want to target them around rocky outcrops, sandy beaches with good structure. As for what to use, lures can be highly effective, but don't shy away from natural baits like crab and razor. From my experience, fishing into the dark on a rising tide can be particularly rewarding for these powerful fighters. Remember, weather windows are vital for autumn bass fishing, so seize those calmer moments. Finally, for those who enjoy a more relaxed session but still want action, the humble but rewarding perch is a great option. As the water temperature continues its downward trend, coarse fish like perch will move into deeper parts of lakes and canals, seeking stable temperatures. Look for them along features like underwater humps, canal lock gates, and deeper sections of slower-moving rivers. Small jigs, tiny soft plastics, or traditional worms and maggots on a drop shot or light ledger rig will be your best bet. A little trick is to tip your jig with a single maggot. That tiny bit of scent can make all the difference when the bite is tough. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the theoretical base for our forecast. The weather for November 6th, 2025 in Ireland looks like this. Daytime temperatures will hover around 13 degrees Celsius, dropping to between 6 and 8 degrees Celsius at night. Crucially, we're expecting 0 millimeters of precipitation, meaning no rain, which is a welcome break for many. We'll likely have a light to moderate breeze. Atmospheric pressure will be relatively stable and on the lower side, following some earlier unsettled conditions this week. This can often make predators more active, but also means keeping an eye on comfort for yourselves, my friends. Speaking of water temperature, coastal waters are currently averaging around 12 degrees Celsius, but the general trend is definitely downwards. This cooling means that while predators like pike and bass are active and taking advantage of abundant bait fish, coarse fish are becoming less active in shallow areas and are already seeking deeper sanctuary. So, for perch and other coarse species, target those deeper features. As for the moon phase on November 6th, 2025, we will have a waning gibbous moon. It will be approximately 98 to 99% illuminated and getting smaller. The full moon, also known as the beaver moon, was just yesterday, November 5th. Many anglers believe that the period immediately following a full moon can sometimes lead to a slower bite, as fish might be in a digestive phase after an intense feeding spell. So while the full moon itself can boost activity, the day after might require a bit more patience and subtle presentation. Considering all these factors, my friends, I'd rate the overall fishing activity for November 6th, 2025 as average. With periods of good activity for predators, the cooler air and dropping water temperatures will make some coarse fish a bit sluggish, sending them deep. However, the abundance of bait fish and the clear activity of pike and bass, combined with generally stable weather, mean that if you're targeting the right species with the right tactics, you could have a fantastic day out. Don't be afraid of the breeze, dress appropriately, and the fish will be there. So, my dear friends, that's your fishing forecast for November 6th, 2025. I wish you all tight lines and screaming reels. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly tips and predictions. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this week? Have you noticed the fish switching to their autumn patterns yet? Share your observations.